Of course, Ravens getting ready to host the AFC Championship Game on Sunday against the Chiefs. It's always a pleasure to welcome our next guest, although I failed him. I was not able to get him into the Pro Bowl this year, despite my extensive campaigning and yelling and screaming. I voted for him as a Pro Football Writers All-Pro. I don't know what the hell's going on with all that. He is, of course, Ravens guard Kevin Zeitler, and he is back with us now here on GCR. Kevin, it's Glenn. It's always great to catch up, man. Thanks for taking the time, and congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Just I guess to get it out of the way first. How good did it just feel to be back on the field on Saturday, right? Like after the way the regular season came to an end, how good did that feel?
Felt great. It's been a while for me personally, but just to get back out there, get back to playing with the guys, obviously overcoming a little bit of adversity, feels good and ready to roll.
Dude, the I know you've always done it, right? Like, but do you ever reconsider if you might have reached the age where you need to stop going out with like the sleeveless look for pregame? Do you ever have even like a second guess of like, maybe I need to go a little bit more with the long sleeve look at this point in my life?
No, that's never crossed my mind. Luckily, growing up in Wisconsin, playing at Wisconsin, I've been through a lot worse. So, I've kind of got a warped perspective, and so far, I haven't had too many actually cold games.
Do you know what the cold like off the top of your head? Do you know what the coldest game is that you've ever played in your life?
Uh, I don't off the top of my head.
Okay. Have you ever had like I think everybody saw what was it, Andy Reid with the frozen mustache a couple weeks ago. Have you ever had a circumstance like that in your life?
I did when I was at Wisconsin back in the day, but I don't think in the NFL I
Okay.
have.
So all of this in comparison is nothing, right? Like it's a pleasant day for you when you walk out and it's 20 degrees.
Agreed.
That's so weird. God, you're a psychopath, man, and I love that so much about you. So okay, this game and having had the red, like I know that there are bigger goals. I understand that, but the history of this team, what this team had been through, how important was it for everybody to just win a playoff game, check the box, sort of get things rolling again?
I mean, it's huge. For me, that was my first playoff game. It took me 12 years to get
It's
there.
unbelievable,
So,
man.
no matter what anyone says, like playoffs, no matter how good, it's hard to win playoff games. And obviously, we were able to get it done, and that's all that matters at this point. Now we have another chance to do it, and then we're going to have to play a bigger, better game, and we'll see what happens.
Did you find yourself talking to guys about that this week? Like, hey, these aren't easy. Like, do you bring that up at all, or is that not something that you bother to care about?
I think our team has a great understanding of that. I don't think it needs to be brought up. I think the team takes everything to stride. We know our situation, and we have to do our best to get things done.
The can you Lamar wasn't willing to share any of the actual language. Would you be willing to share any of the actual language? Because the good news is for those that don't know, we pre-recorded this, so we could always edit it as necessary. Could you share any of the actual language of what halftime looked like on Saturday?
I'll let Lamar keep his things, to himself. He wants to keep it private, I'll let him keep it private. But Lamar's the man. He's a hell of a leader, a hell of a guy, and I'm glad he's on our team.
Can you, Kevin? Because it's one of the things that I think I love most about football. And I compared Anquan Bolden was in Baltimore once upon a time, and he would have these moments. We saw Lamar was like demonstrative. Not obviously, at halftime he said he was cussing a lot, but even in the first half he seemed like he was getting after you guys. Why it works? Why you guys don't say like, "Ah, shut up, man! Like we're doing our job." Like why does it work that it's okay for someone like that to be getting after you like that, and that for you guys to respond the way that you did and play so brilliantly in the second half?
I mean, when you have like a guy like Lamar on your team, you want to live up to his expectations, and you know that he can raise your level at any given time. So, everyone knows what our team is capable of. We know what Lamar is capable of, and when things aren't going our way, I think we all have a desire to make sure we get it going our way.
No, it was going your way, obviously, in the second half. You guys could do nothing wrong. Kevin Zeitler is with us here on GCR. Kevin, this is you have talked. You almost laugh whenever anybody asks you about like retirement things like that. And the way that you're playing, I don't know why you wouldn't laugh because you're playing at such an absurdly high level. But do you think about like the hey, I don't know how many more of these opportunities, as much as it took you a while to get here? Do you start thinking about all of that? Does it make all of this more important to you?
I mean, yeah, there is a time limit on everyone's career. You never know when that, time will run out. So having the opportunity now, you got to take advantage when you get your opportunities. So the team and everything, we got to get rolling.
How do you describe the zone that this team is in? Like, because I struggle with it sometimes. It's almost majestic. It looks like I'm watching, like Da Vinci paint the way that you guys have been playing. Is there a moment that you look back on and say, boy, like a switch really flipped in this moment that this team has just taken off the way that it has?
I mean, I think in general, I think we got after the first quarter of the season, that's when things started finally taking off. Having a new coordinators and all that. It's never an excuse, but we were figuring some things out.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were able to get it on a roll, and then we've been able to build on it ever since, and that's what we got to keep doing.
How do you, wanting to show incredible respect and not take anything away from any of your opponents? How much and I say this as an outsider, I have like extraordinary confidence in watching you guys play that if you guys have anything to do with it, you're going to win these football games because you just seem like you're that much better. How much internal confidence do you guys feel of like, yeah, we really genuinely don't care who the opponent is. We just feel this good about our team?
What I'd say is, obviously throughout the season we played a lot of tough teams. Some things have gone our way. We've learned what we're capable of, and it's on us to make sure we live up to that expectation for ourselves.
The crowd on Saturday, the Texans had 8 pre-snap penalties. How much were you feeling the crowd and the impact they were having on the game, and how good do you feel about having that same rabid atmosphere for Sunday and the Chiefs?
It's huge. Anytime you have a home game in the playoffs, you need any advantage you can get, and obviously they affected the game in a very positive way for us, and we need them to be like 10 times louder this week because we know it's going to be a whole different ball game this week. It's going to be a tough one.
Is there part of you that like is almost glad that it's the Chiefs? Like let it be the reigning champions. Like I want to. We want those challenges.
I mean, the simple fact is we knew whoever we're going to play was going to be a mega challenge.
Yeah.
Both teams that we're playing this week, like both great teams, both having a lot of momentum, excellent playmakers, and whichever way the cards fell, we knew it was going to be a hard game.
How many people in your life have already reached out and asked if there is any chance that you might be able to introduce them to Taylor Swift this week?
Believe it or not, no one has actually mentioned that to me yet.
I got a funny feeling that's going to change as the week goes on. I got a funny feeling that somebody's going to attempt that.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure you're right.
Is there anyone in your life that you know is a particular? I know you're kind of a girl dad. Like, do you have somebody in your life that is a particularly massive Taylor Swift fan?
Off the top of my head, I don't think I know anyone who's like a mega fan.
Okay.
I think everyone likes her music because her music's good. So.
Are you a Swiftie?
I wouldn't say I'm a Swiftie, but she has good music.
Okay, all right, I can accept that. I think it's a totally fine line for this. In just another minute or two here with Kevin Zeitler. The dance moves after the game on Saturday. Who looked the best? Who maybe should probably try to stay away from dancing on camera moving forward?
I mean, our tight ends coach, George Gassi, he started off and he has all the moves.
Yeah.
And he's made for it.
What about the other way? Who maybe would you say they should hope that video gets burned before anybody else sees it at this point?
Honestly, after a playoff victory, anyone can dance no matter how they dance. It's all good.
All right. Now wait a second though. Would you, if it was say the Super Bowl, would you be out there showing off your moves, or still would you say, no, I know my lane. That's not where I'm going to be?
I'd probably be out there having a great time.
Hell yeah, I need that in my life now. I need to see that moment so badly of you showing off the moves after a Super Bowl win. Kevin, do you guys openly talk about? Do you use the word Super Bowl around the locker room, or do you just sort of say no, next game, that's it?
I mean, I think it's known. You think it's talked a little bit, but it's it doesn't matter. The next game's the only thing that matters.
What is your own victory celebration after a playoff win? Like you mentioned you haven't done this before. Did you allow yourself, a big steak, anything after getting your first playoff win?
I went home, watched the next football game, and I went to bed. That's all I did.
But, man, I was really hoping there'd be something, like anything at all, to celebrate a playoff win. You just really are that like zoned in on business.
I mean, that's all there is to it.
Man, I have such incredibly great respect for that. I haven't. Do you, wait? Did you allow yourself during the bye week? Did you allow yourself maybe like a cheat meal or something? No, you didn't have a football game to play.
I mean, I had a couple Oreo ice cream sandwiches.
Okay.
Guilty little pleasure there.
Okay.
And those were good.
So do you have any like any victory traditions over the like famously Eric Weddle would always have like a giant bowl of ice cream after. Do you have any victory traditions?
I wouldn't say there's anything tradition.
Okay.
Like it's kind of just whatever happens after a game.
Man, how much are you let down? Like we can be honest for a second because I know you love Ravens fans, but you got to be a little bit let down by the fact that we didn't get you into the Pro Bowl, right?
I mean, it is what it is. You know, it's a tough thing to get into. There's a lot of great players at the position, and you know, just is what it is.
The good news is there's one that matters a whole lot more than that. There is one that matters significantly more than that afterwards. Kevin Zeitler, man, it's such an unbelievably exciting time, and I hope that you're getting to feel a little bit of that as zoned in and as businesslike as you guys are. I hope you're getting to feel how much this means to this entire community right now, what you guys are doing. Always appreciate you. Continue to kick ass. Thank you for taking a couple of minutes for us this morning, man.
Hey, no problem. Have a great day.